Well, welcome back. Armed with no more than a notepad and a pair of binoculars, Jane Goodall set out into the wild African jungle in 1960, and what she has found has forever opened our eyes to a truly remarkable species. In a time when Elvis was stealing hearts and Ben-Hur won big at the box office, Dr. Goodall here was beginning to educate people about wild chimpanzees and other creatures that continue to fascinate us today. We are honored to have Dr. Goodall here in studio. Thank you so much for being with us.
Oh, thank you.
This morning. Can you take us back to the jungle in 1960? What did you expect to find there, and what did you learn that changed your life?
Well, first of all, I dreamed of living in Africa with animals and writing books about them from the age of, well, 10, when I read a Tarzan book and fell in love. And so when I got to Africa, you know, I went around various places. It felt like home.
Did it?
And then when I got to Gombe in the forest, I think mostly, how am I going to find the chimpanzees in these steep, thick forested valleys? And, you know, then what did I learn? How arrogant humans are to think that we're the only beings with personalities, minds, and above all, emotions.
You know, it's so funny you said that. We were watching this video of you, and what struck me most is just the childlike emotion and utter trust and love of these animals, where it's not like an adult human. It's just, it almost seems childlike, where it's just love and then I'm sure other emotions. Is that what you find? How would you describe them?
Well, their emotions are very similar to ours, and some may be like you know, childhood, but others are very adult.
Really?
Yes. I mean, they're like us in so many, many ways.
In 2014 now, we are more aware than ever about the importance of protecting endangered species, protecting our environment. That was not the case in 1960. How have you seen it change? Does it need to change more? And you must realize that you were a large part of this awakening.
Well, first of all, you know, it is shocking what we've done and what we are continuing to do to the planet. And I think the worst part is, even though there's a growing awareness that the planet doesn't have infinite resources, they're finite, but we go on using them greedily as though they'll go on forever. And the number of people, animals, and environments that are suffering horribly is shocking, and we have to change not just attitudes but actions.
Absolutely. And today it's actually a wonderful day because the day your book comes out today.
Yeah, I'm very excited about this.
And it has to do with vegetation and plants being lost and the importance of them.
Yes, and the wonder and the magic of being in the forest or out on the prairies, and you know how one by one these habitats are being compromised and species are being lost. And
it's dependent on each other, as we all know. It is the circle of life, literally. We cannot take out one part of the environment and expect the rest to survive.
Exactly. And do we not spend, I mean, why don't we spend time thinking, how does this decision affect my people generations ahead? We're not thinking about our great-great-grandchildren. What will the world be like for them if we don't change?
Now.
Absolutely.
You were in very remote parts of the jungle, experienced some amazing things. Can you share any stories, any particular stories? I mean, you were around potentially deadly, not just animals, but insects and everything. Do you have any stories you can share?
Well, it was, you know, Gombe National Park, where I was, is a very, you know, it's actually a pretty amazing place. And yes, there are snakes and there were buffalo. And I think the worst part was in the very early days. First, the chimpanzees ran from me.
Really?
But then once they realized I wasn't so dangerous, they treated me as though I was a predator.
Really?
And screamed at me and shook branches. And I think those were probably the worst times, because they're 10 times stronger than we are.
It must have been incredibly frightening.
It was scary, but I had to pretend that I was interested in digging little holes in the ground, eating leaves, and not interested in them at all, and ignore them. And, well, it worked. Eventually, I won their trust.
How did you fight the fear? I mean, I'm sure you had to have been scared.
Well, I suppose I foolishly, or perhaps not, thought, well, I'm meant to be here. This is, you know, what I'm supposed to be doing, so it's going to be all right.
Wow, completely fearless. Amazing. Your birthday. You have a big birthday coming up on Thursday, correct?
No, everybody is so excited that I'm 80, except me.
I can imagine. I would like to wish you a happy birthday here at Eyewitness News. We have a little birthday cake, a mini birthday cake for you with a little butterfly.
Thank you. It's a beautiful butterfly.
Well, you know, it's the
You
best.
should have lit it.
I know we would, but
Then
you know,
I could
you
have
never
blown
know.
it out. I'll pretend. There.
Perfect. Happy birthday, and thank you
Thank you.
so much for joining us today. It's been a true honor having you here. Let's talk about why you're here. Dr. Goodall is speaking tonight at Bakersfield College at 7:30. Tickets are $15, and you can attend there tonight. What a wonderful thing. I can't wait to hear more about what you have to say. Thank you again.
Thank you.
All right, we will be right back.